Everybody, please take your seat. I'm going to start now. Guys hanging around at the sides, please take your seats. Investors in the first 3 rows. And please close in because there are a lot of other people coming. We are oversold heavily. If when those others come in, there's an overflow, may I request the startups to stand at the side because we've sold about 300 for 250 seats. Could you please sit down? Hey, all of you back there, all of you at the side, just sit down, please sit down. We can't start until then. Don't get fooled by those empty seats. A lot of people are yet to come, okay? Okay, folks, like on IIT Standard Time, let me start bang on time. So may I request you to put your cell phones on vibrate mode? And, yep. Okay, so this is our 2nd anniversary. We started in January 18th, 2018, exactly 2 years ago. Oh, I see. Here? Don, here? Yeah, okay.
That's the spot right there, right in the middle.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So we started IIT Startups exactly 2 years ago on 18th of January, 2018. And the reason was I was studying, to keep myself occupied because I've retired, and what could we do for the IIT alumni? And this is one item that sort of hit me in the face, and I was surprised by some of the statistics. IITians are the 4th largest unicorn builders in the world. I didn't know that. We have Stanford at number 1, we are at number 4, and 2, 3, and 5 is interchangeable between Harvard, Berkeley, and MIT. They keep changing places, but 1 and 4 are fixed. But anyway, whoever's on 1 to 3, they are now looking at the rearview mirror for this thing called IIT that's coming up sharp. We had 18 unicorns in the last 3 years. So there is a tidal wave, and that's something we wanted to cash in on. And of course, the epicenter of that is right here in Silicon Valley. I have stepped back from my role now, having started the organization. Manoj is now the boss, and I've taken up the role of chief evangelist. I'm headed to Bangalore for a meeting there. Those guys also want to start something similar. So the other very strong thing is 2 years back, we had about 11 to 12,000 IITians. Today, we have about 14,000 IITians key in the Silicon Valley, and they are holding key positions in various corporate enterprises out here, which is a potential market for our startups, for those who are in B2B. They're also a potential target point for being acquired, since 90% of our startups get acquired. So initially, we started at the lowest end. We started helping out early stage startups. So the first 2 cohorts we ran were for early stage cohorts. The next 2, that is the 3rd and this one, which is the 4th, are for a mixture of early stage and pre-Series A. Going forward, we will be going to, can we see the next slide? Yeah, going forward, we are going to be going for Series A, Series B kind of startups. And we've been wondering, what can you teach a seasoned entrepreneur who's done that multiple number of times? But these entrepreneurs who've done it multiple number of times approached us and said, you know what, we like the reach you got. There's 14,000 IITians, and we've got a fairly strong reach across, and there's a strong loyalty factor among IITians, which is something we are cashing in on. So that's one. The other thing is, thanks to courtesy Manoj and Prem and others, Deepthi, we have a fairly strong reach with the investor community. So this gives us a very strong propulsion in moving forward. Some of the other things we want to do in this year is we're going to take a physical space for incubation. We don't have that. We've been working out of a virtual office, and thanks to various organizations, we always get space. Of course, now Manoj is an HP, so we get their space perpetually. But we're going to take an incubation space where our active cohorts can hang out till such time they get the Series A funding. Then, of course, we tell them, you need to get your own space. I have stepped back from running the organization to evangelizing. Now, going forward, I'm going to try to see if I can open other branches, because I have interest from Boston, Seattle, LA, New York, and now what's excited me is Bangalore, because Bangalore does have a fairly big startup ecosystem, not as big as ours, but pretty big. But I don't understand that culture entirely, so I'm meeting two organizations, the Pan IIT and IIT ACB, which is run by Professor Mishra, who was the former director of IIT Bombay. So I'm going in for that. And I'd like to introduce our new president, Manoj Goel, and he'll take it forward. Manoj.
Thank you, Manishi. Good afternoon. Okay, you're all awake. So let me introduce my core team, who is here to take this momentum forward. Let me start with Prem. Prem is looking after investor relations, so he'll be calling on some of you to see how we can collaborate more. Our cohort managers, Yanni and Vidyut. This is Yanni. He will be running the show today with help from Vidyut. And they're backed by 20 plus mentors and coaches, so they will be introducing their coaches, mentors. We also have a new program, as Manishi alluded, which is for corporate relations. Number of companies and system integrators, Capgemini, Wipro, TCS, they're all reaching out to us saying, how can we piggyback on this ride? So Yanni will be looking after the corporate partnerships. And this whole wouldn't have been possible with a lot of social media, marketing, infrastructure, badge printing, getting the food infrastructure. So Shrikant, who is out at the badging, Deepthi, come on the stage, Vasudha, and Vrishali is not here. She's at Davos helping one of our sponsors, Asha Jadeja, I think. Okay, thank you guys. So you'll be seeing more of them. Take your seats. So let me start with thanking our two institutional sponsors. These are all probably household names to most of you. Lightspeed, led by Ravi, and our Ravi Rajan is also our supporter there. These are all multi-billion-dollar firms under management, globally investing hundreds of companies and hundreds of exits. But the point I want to make in blue, they have been backing many IITian companies. And some of them have gone public and become unicorns, Zscaler, Nutanix, and so on. Next one is Canon, one of the oldest VC firms, 30 plus years. Same trend, investing in a lot of IITian founded companies. So they're looking at us and saying, hey, we want to find the next Zscaler or Nutanix or Sun Micro or Palo Alto Networks. And we hope some of you who are investors here can also partner with us in similar fashion. So we'll have your slide here, next cohort. And by the way, there is more seats for investors in the front. If you're sitting in the back, you can get a better view in the front. Our event sponsor is Asha Jadeja, wife of late Professor Motwani, who was an IIT alumni. He was the seed investor in Google, which is now a $1 trillion company led by another IIT alumni. So Asha has been a big sponsor of ours for all the event, food, drinks. And she's in Davos this week, so otherwise she would have loved to be here. She has a brochure on the desk outside about her foundation. She is big into social impact, investing in women's rights, maker movement, education in India and US. But the main stars, the main VIPs are our investors who have RSVP'd. There's 84 of you who RSVP'd. Some are probably still in traffic or waiting to come. But you can see your company names here. And if you're an investor not here, your company name is not here, then let me know. I will make sure it's added. So there's about 84, including corporate and investors. With that, let me introduce Steve from Citrix. And while Steve is coming on the stage, I want to recognize Don behind the camera. Don, say hi.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
So Don has provided this beautiful facility, the infrastructure, the videotaping, and thank you, Steve, for letting us use your auditorium.
Thank you. Hey, everybody, welcome. So again, I'm Steve Wilson, VP of Products here at Citrix, and it's my privilege to welcome to you today. We're so happy to be hosting this. I think we've hosted 3 or 4 of these now. And the team asked me to just spend 5 minutes with you, introduce Citrix briefly, and talk a little bit about how we work with the startup community as well. So Citrix is a company with a long history. We celebrated our 30th anniversary last year, so not a startup. But really what we've become focused on is helping our customers build a better way to work. And what we've been focused on for the past few years is understanding the challenges that all of the great infrastructure that have come out of Silicon Valley, cloud computing, software as a service, have actually made things in many ways so complicated for our employees that they're just draining. Don? All right, there we go. And so really there's 3 areas that we're focused on from a technology point of view. And we've done acquisitions in all of these areas. I'll introduce them to you briefly, but Workspace is really an end user set of technologies around how do you deliver applications, documents, and data securely to all of the users in your company. And with the more and varied types of applications and devices that are out there, this becomes a bigger and bigger challenge. On the networking side, we're leaders in what's called application delivery control, as well as SD-WAN, which is software-defined wide area networks. Really, though, if you look at it from a broader perspective, all of our workers are mobile these days, even within the office, and every single application that you have is delivered via the network. So the performance, the reliability, and the security of your networks are critical to the overall performance and security of your enterprise. And so one of the most successful acquisitions that Citrix did more than 10 years ago now was a company called NetScaler. That's become the foundation of our networking business, which is now in the neighborhood of $1 billion. The last area of focus, I know this is a hot one for many of the startups who are here today, but it's the area of analytics. 3 or 4 years ago, we made a big bet as a company that analytics, AI, and big data could have a big impact on our business. Now, no, we're not a traditional analytics vendor. We're not going to compete with Tableau or Power BI or even ThoughtSpot, which I saw on the last slide. We're really focused on how can this impact some of the targets that we talked about. How can we make people's environment more secure through things like user behavior analytics? How can we make people more productive by predicting what they want to do next and bringing them the right data, the right applications, and the right interactions in advance of when they need it. So we're interested in getting to know all of the startups that are here today. There are several folks from here from Citrix. There's Chalan, who was one of the general managers in our networking business, Churdeep, who's one of our distinguished engineers, and Rajiv Sinha's around here somewhere, who happens to be an IIT alum. And I know everybody would look forward to chatting with you. So thanks again on behalf of Citrix for coming to visit today, and we hope you have a great day. And I'll hand it off to the next speaker.
If you could mention that, and that most of our earlier cohorts got funded to the extent that they want. Nanosec acquired by McAfee.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you again for attending our demo day. I'm Gnani Palanikumar. I'm the program chair for Cohort 4 program. There are 11 startups who are going to pitch it today. Most of them are going to pitch it to the investors for the first time. On an average, each startup founder received over 60 hours of personalized coaching and mentorship. This is a team behind it. From the coaches side, I want to call out Amit and Hemant, who are helping these startups on pitching and as well as reviewing all their presentations. These are the mentors from our Cohort 4 program. So big shout out for some of the mentors who have been mentoring our startups for the last 4 cohorts. All of them are serial entrepreneurs, operators, domain expertise, domain and technology expertise. So if you're a mentor in the current cohort program or the previous cohort program, please raise your hand. Okay, round of applause to them. Thank you. So here is a founder's profile of our 11 startups. 3 are repeat entrepreneurs. They had successful exit before. 2 women CEOs, and 3 PhDs, and 4 corporate executives. From the funding side, before the start of the Cohort 4 is a 5 months program. Before the start of this program, 3 startups have raised over $9 million. In the last 2 months, during that program, 2 startups have raised around $4.5 million. So this is a breakup for the funding they have got so far. If you look at the previous cohorts, 50% of our startups get funding after the demo day. And then 5 startups are bootstrapped, and 3 startups raised around $300K to $1 million, and then other 3 startups raised around $3.5 million of seed funding. So here is the list of 11 startups who are going to present today. The pitch is going to be for 4 minutes. There is no Q&A. If you are interested in talking to any of the founders, they have a demo table on both sides of this room. The pamphlet has brief description about all the startups. If you are interested in following up, please use the tiny URL so that we can send you that founder's introduction in the next 2 days. So let's start. Our first startup is Neve Research. The founders of Neve Research have deep domain expertise in building mission-critical applications. With visionary customers, they closed $2.5 million revenue. They generated $2.5 million revenue, and then the company is bootstrapped until now. Please welcome Girish.
Hello, everyone. My name is Girish Muthreja. I'm the founder and CEO of Neve Research. We are a B2B company and have an enterprise data product that is targeted towards enterprise transactional systems. Systems such as credit card fraud detection systems, retail pricing systems, equity trading systems, systems that are essentially customer-facing, mission-critical, and serve the customer in real time. We are a 100% bootstrap company. We have 5 customers. We generate an annual revenue of $2.5 million at an average sale price of $500,000 with a 54 to 46% win-loss ratio. Our customers are a tier 1 investment bank that use our product to power their equity trading platform to offer ultra-low trading latencies to their customers. A world leader in hospitality and entertainment that use our product as the backbone for their e-commerce system in order to offer a hyper-personalized experience to their customers at point of sale. Alert Nest that use our product to curate social data in real time for their customers. Go Reporter that use our product to implement a real-time marketplace for attorneys and court reporters. And a travel tech startup that use our product to implement an AI-driven personalized mobile-based travel assistant. Some testimonials: significant reduction in cost, significant reduction in business risk, while offering significant capabilities to increase the business, revenue, and profitability, and at the same time offering technical capabilities that are not available anywhere else. The common thread that runs through all our customers is that they use our product to serve their customers in a more contextual, personalized, relevant, and timely fashion than ever before. The customer is more important to the enterprise today than it has ever been. Evidence the digital transformation exercise that is sweeping the industry. To serve the customer in a manner that promotes loyalty and engagement, enterprises need to process more and more data about the customer. The problem is that the velocity, volume, and variety of data that needs to be processed to serve the customer in this fashion has reached a point where it is no longer possible to do it using the existing enterprise data landscape. I'm more than happy to explain this in much more detail, but for now it suffices to say that the fundamental problem is that the data landscape is too fragmented. The problem space has reached a threshold where you cannot solve these class of problems by integrating existing data vendors. You need a data product that actually targeted towards this class of problem. And this problem is going to get much worse as data velocities go up, data volumes go up, as AI-based decisioning finds its way into transactional systems, and technologies such as 5G find their way into the market. Our customers chose us over the competition for one very simple reason. We are the only product that brings together big data, fast data, and real-time processing into a single platform. A key capability needed to solve the class of problems that we solve and the class of problems that represent our market. This class of problems represents a large market, large enough for us as a company to cross the $1 billion mark in 5 years at a 7.5% market share. Bringing together big data, fast data, and real-time processing all into a single offering is no easy feat. To do so requires a world-class team, and we are that world-class team. Collectively, we have more than 100 years of experience in mission-critical transaction processing systems and have devoted tens of thousands of hours to innovate, research, engineer, and field-harden the product that we have brought to market. This class of problems represents a very large and growing market, and this market needs our product, and this product, the best team for it is us. We're looking for $3 million in seed funding. This will add 10 more customers in the next 12 months, adding $2.5 million to our ARR. We will also be using these funds to scale the team for cloud native. I look forward to talking with all of you. I'm there on booth number 1. Thank you very much.
Our next company, Curie AI, is a spin-off from SRI International. Curie AI platform uses smartphone audio for contactless monitoring and assessment of symptoms for asthma and COPD. Please welcome Navya.
Hello, everyone. I'm Navya Davaluri, co-founder and CEO of Curie. Curie is a healthcare startup that is redefining the standard of care for people with chronic respiratory conditions like asthma and COPD. There are 40 million people in the US alone with asthma and COPD. More importantly, more than 60% of them have uncontrolled condition that leads to millions of ER visits and hospitalizations every year. Why is the current standard of care so ineffective? Because it requires a patient to subjectively assess their symptoms on a daily basis and choose their medication accordingly. This process is often error-prone. This, combined with the clinicians not being able to intervene early, results in millions of adverse events every year. Curie is focused on addressing these fundamental limitations. We have a three-part solution for this problem. The first part, we've built a unique AI technology that understands what symptoms someone is experiencing and provides an assessment of respiratory health through passive continuous monitoring of audio. Without asking the patient to do anything at all on a daily basis, we can understand what symptoms they're developing, how is their disease state progressing. We can also predict when adverse events are going to happen from audio alone. The way we do this is by placing a device at the bedside, as shown in the picture. Our AI can run on any device that has a microphone on it. The second part of the solution is a web app that provides insights to clinicians about which patient to focus on and when to intervene. And the third part is a mobile app for the patients to obtain guidance on how to better manage their condition. In some of our pilots, we have already shown that the Curie solution provides strong outcomes. Right? So in our very first pilot, we have proven that we could reduce the adverse events by greater than 90%. We were able to improve the quality of life, which translated to significant improvement in how many nights they had symptoms, et cetera. So Curie solution works and has a substantial, adds a substantial value to the current standard of care. We're targeting out of the 40 million people with asthma and COPD, we are focused on those people that get their coverage through Medicare Advantage plan. Medicare Advantage is the fastest growing value-based care model currently in the US. Through this segment alone, our serviceable obtainable market is $5 billion and is projected to double in the next 10 years. Our go-to-market strategy is to work with any provider and payer that serves the Medicare Advantage enrollees. We charge anywhere between $25 to $150 per participant per month. Traction. So we're particularly excited about the traction we're seeing already. We've closed an agreement with a primary care provider called Galileo Health, based in New York and North Carolina today. They are a value-based care provider. And like that, we are in conversations with a number of primary care providers that primarily serve in value-based care models. The CEO and co-founder of Galileo Health, Tom Lee, was also the CEO and co-founder of One Medical, the fastest growing primary care startup that is about to go public anytime this year. We are a really strong team of technical and business leaders. I have deep domain expertise in healthcare. My head of AI, Sridhar Nimala, comes with deep expertise in audio AI background. He has built products that generated more than $300 million in revenue in the past few years. We've just brought on board a head of strategy and business development who previously started and successfully exited a company in the healthcare and wellness space. Currently, we are raising $2 million in seed. $1 million has already been committed. Our goal is to add 4 to 5 new customers by the end of the year, with the goal of adding 2,000 participants on the platform. I'm really excited about the opportunity and looking forward to speaking with you all today. Thank you.
Our next company is Credify. In a gig economy, companies perform over 1 billion background checks globally every year. Let's find out how Credify can penetrate the market and differentiate themselves from Good Hire and Checker. Please welcome Naveen.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Naveen Chugh, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Credit Fund. In about a decade, I've spent in the industry, including time with First Advantage, which recently got acquired by Silver Lake. There was one single complaint with all the employers, with all the customers. Why do we have to verify the same credentials, for example, your past education or your employment, over and over again, every time you change jobs? So where is the problem? It's actually getting bigger. In the world today, the contingent workforce is growing. Social media has become the go-to destination for all the searches. The information could be questionable. And yet, we continue to verify the same information, where you lose precious time. So our solution, based on years of customer feedback, in my engagement, one-on-one meetings, customer advisory board, is focused on alleviating the pain. Where you screen once and you share the information as needed, instantly, anytime with anybody, be it an employer or a bank or housing or your landlord. One of the biggest testaments was in a meeting with the customer where he said, this is the holy grail. This is the future. The world is about sharing information instantly. The landscape, the competition, I'm sure you've heard of Checker, heard of Good Hire. We are different and better. We are faster. Not only can we do some of the basic searches, like the criminal searches, much easier, much faster, but when it comes to verifications, we can do those faster as well. Matter of hours versus days or weeks. And you share the information. And you save precious time. Fundamentally, we have built a different platform which enables the sharing and the screening of this information. The market is huge. There are 3 billion adults in the workforce. Think about all the verification, the ID, the credit, the employment, the education. It's growing. It's converging. The screening market itself is between $3 to $6 billion. Having done this before, we are going to go to the market direct. Execution is the key. We'll start with the transaction as well as the subscription revenue model, first of its kind. And we'll focus on the 3 verticals in the employment screening space where the pain is heavily pronounced. In the 3 months, in just about a quarter since we launched, we've had amazing traction. We signed up about 7 customers with estimated $250,000 in booking and growing list of prospects. Every conversation I have with the customers, they love the concept. The team. I'm privileged to have assembled or be able to work with an amazing team. Ram, myself, and Stefano, who's here, have worked together at First Advantage. Stefano was the CTO and at HireRight and First Advantage. Mike, who was the ex-CEO of HireRight and Kroll for a number of years, also glad to be working with us. And I've worked in a couple of startups before, large companies and privately owned companies. So we're looking for a $3 million seed investment, looking for partners to help us grow the business, build a great company, achieve our milestones. We would love to chat with you. Stefano and myself and the rest of the team are here. Please join us. Thank you.
Our next startup, Adapt DC, has 2 technical founders. Rajat, data scientist, during his PhD program, has worked on high-impact projects in NSF, Department of Science, and IBM. Abhijit, software engineer, has managed cloud-native applications in Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and Amazon. They are building the next generation APM platform. Please welcome Rajat.
Thank you, Kenny. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rajat Ghosh. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Adapt DC. At IITStartups, we are offering a zero-touch observability for cloud-native application performance management. Two of the biggest challenges for organizations adopting cloud-native applications are early failure detection and fast failure resolutions. These challenges are stemming from the need for dynamic monitoring due to rapid CI/CD deployments and growing operational complexities due to microservices and containers. We are helping organizations address these challenges by helping developers ingest data from different cloud-native sources with our augmented monitoring platform. Then we help developers predict failures with our time series anomaly detection capabilities. Then we help developers prevent failures from happening with our real-time root cause analysis and dynamic predictive recommendation system. Finally, with our solution, developers can pass in execution context in a declarative manner, thereby enabling a seamless DevOps workflow. Overall, we provide a seamless workflow that is AI-driven, zero-touch, and completely working on dynamic data. Let's talk about Vartiv. Vartiv is a Fortune 500 company. We have helped them in improving their database application reliability running on Kubernetes infrastructure. By helping them improving the reliability of their database applications, we have saved more than $200,000 each month for them. We are a unique player in this market, converging the capability of early failure detection on dynamic data and fast and automated failure resolution. Our true edge lies in the fact that we can extract meaningful contextual information from real-time time series data. I have talked about Vartiv before. Since our launch in November last year, we have seen strong customer demand. Recently, Microsoft has started using our product primarily to improve their service reliability for their Azure infrastructure. Besides Vartiv and Microsoft, we have 3 other deployment pilots at Nutanix, VMware, and Unisys. In addition to these 5, we have several other potential customers in the pipeline. We are playing in a large market of $20 billion in TAM. We are a team of 2 IIT Kharagpur batchmates, known each other for the last 15 years. I worked as a lead data scientist in projects funded by IBM, Department of Defense, and National Science Foundation. My co-founder, Abhijit, has worked in companies like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and Amazon, solving their critical application challenges. Together, we are building IITStartups. At this point, we are raising $3 million in seed, primarily to grow our revenue to $2 million in the next 18 months. Thank you very much. Looking forward to chatting with you.
Our next startup is Interfit. Sanjeev, in his previous startup, grew to 700 employees. To improve his emotional intelligence, investors asked him to hire a personal coach. So he and his executive team benefited from it. Still, 98% of his employees were not getting EQ coaching because it was expensive and that it impacted the employee productivity. So he created the digital EQ assistant to address this enterprise problem. Please welcome Sanjeev.
Hi all, I am Sanchit, founder and CEO at Interfit. Today I'm here to talk about increasing employee productivity by something important and yet unaddressed, emotional intelligence. Before this, I was founder of a $100 million company managing a team of 700 people. And I had my share of challenges in scaling up. My investors suggested me a professional coach. My coach was a psychology and a behavioral science expert. Oh, I'm sorry, I did all the slides in reverse. Let me restart. I'm Sanchit, founder and CEO at Innofit. I'm here to talk about increasing employee productivity by something important but yet unaddressed, emotional intelligence. Before this, I was founder of a $100 million company, managing a team of 700 people. And I had my share of challenges as we scaled up. My investors referred me a professional coach. My coach was a behavioral science and psychology expert. She helped me identify my underlying emotional intelligence deficits, and one by one, helped me improve them with simple exercises. She did charge me $20,000, but I became more confident and productive even in high-pressure situations. It turns out there are hundreds of AI deficits that can affect productivity. See if you relate to some of them: imposter syndrome, inability to handle failures, losing sleep over things not under control. Each one of us has these in varying degrees, making us unique cocktails. Professional coaching understands this and provides personalized solutions and is the best tool to improve emotional intelligence and productivity. That's why the leadership goes for it. The problem is it's just not scalable for the rest of the team for high cost and limited supply of coaches. But imagine what can happen to a company where entire workforce is more emotionally intelligent and more productive. On this journey, I roped in my friends Priyank and Uma, who come from behavioral science and psychology background. Priyank has been a leadership intervention coach for companies like GE, Bank of America. Uma comes from research background in coaching. Billu, my first tech hire at my previous company, has joined back again. He is one-man army for all the tech needs. Together as a team, we started replicating coaching methods to bring the benefits at less than 1% cost. We understood coaching is essentially a three-step process that we can replicate. One, identifying the emotional intelligence deficits. For example, someone may not be assertive in difficult conversations. Second, simple exercises to help the person improve. For example, the same person who is not assertive will get exercises. Why don't you go and give a strong feedback to yourself in the mirror? Or understand the situations where this deficit gets triggered. Are you not assertive in front of your boss or peers or clients, and so on? These simple exercises are rooted in psychology and behavioral science. And then step 3, measure progress and fine-tune the next exercises. Research already establishes that human emotional health can be effectively improved without a therapist or a coach, just by the right self-help books. Apps can certainly do better than books. As we have converted these coaching methods into 5-minute, fun, engaging daily exercises, we started testing them offline, got exciting results. Then we invited 1,500 users from Facebook and saw that they were able to accurately identify their deficits. They were able to complete the first 10-minute exercise, and 85% of them were delighted, wanted more. These results are paving the way forward to finish the product. While last year was about testing the MVP, this year we want to monetize the same in the B2B enterprise space. Human resource leaders are increasingly looking for more emotional wellness solutions to maximize productivity and engagement of their workforce. We are the only company, only solution which is bringing professional coaching to everyone. For our go-to-market, we want to leverage customer acquisition cost by integrating into HR benefit marketplaces that provide suite of tools for employees, like employee reward system. Zozo Day is already interested in integrating us and expose us to 500 of their clients. As we are taking emotional intelligence to millions of people and creating the largest database of human sentiments on the planet, I invite you to join us. I'll be right there next to coffee and food to chat. Thank you.
Our next startup is Alan. Alan's co-founder's previous startup, mobile video service company, had a $140 million exit to Skype. Now they are going after the bigger market opportunity in voice AI platform, enabled hands-free applications across different verticals. Please welcome Ramu.
I'm Ramu, CEO of Alan, a conversational voice AI platform. In the last 6 months, we got validation across several industries. Let me walk you through an Allen deployment at an oil and gas company. Oil and gas is an asset-heavy industry. Our customer, Murphy Oil, has developed mobile apps for their employees to use to manage these assets. However, these apps are not being used at all. The apps are not being used because employees are walking around, they have gloves on their hands, and it's not hands-free experience. As such, because they're not getting enough app data, the well has to be shut down at times, and it costs them about $500,000 when the well is shut down a day. And if you want to change the app experience, it takes anywhere more than 6 months to change it for these companies. The current problem cannot be solved by today's technology. Allen is designed from the ground up to solve these problems. Murphy integrated Allen into their well operations app, and Allen shows up as the blue button in the app. And today, employees open the app and have a hands-free conversational experience. As such, the management gets the operational data in a timely fashion to keep the wells operational. And if the voice experience has to be augmented, it can be enhanced instantly. And to give you more color of the Allen voice experience, we leverage what's in your UI today. We let you use both touch and voice. Sometimes you can touch it, sometimes you can talk to it. And Allen, our AI, uniquely understands the language used in your industry in this app. So the Murphy Oil deployment has proved to us that the use case of field asset management is ubiquitous across the oil and gas industry. And our AI model is getting smarter with each subsequent deployment. And our success at Murphy in transforming these mobile users' experience shows that this use case is applicable across all industries, several industries. And every mobile employee will benefit from Allen. And this gives us a market opportunity to address is almost $10 billion just in North America. And from a competition point of view, we are way ahead and highly differentiated. Our product works in the existing app. It trains on very small data set and gets smarter. Our AI gets smarter for each subsequent deployment in that vertical. And we leverage both the voice and visual context to better understand what the user said. And you can add Allen to your application in just a matter of days. The team behind Allen, we worked together before, and now we have executives from SAP, Microsoft, and Amazon. In the last 6 months, we attended only 2 SAP events, and we got 30 sales qualified leads. One of them is a Murphy Oil, which is generating revenue for us, and has become a case study to further scale into the oil and gas industry. We're also seeing leads come to our website daily. With the funding we raised to date, we have built a product and validated it in the oil and gas industry. And we are raising a Series A of $5 million to scale our business within oil and gas and the next adjacent utilities industry. And we are the guys with the Allen t-shirt. We are up there in the corner and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
So our next startup is Workomo. Soumitra has diverse experience as an investment banker, VC, startup operator, and founder. In Workomo, he is trying to address one of the biggest pain points of all of us, professionals, in managing the relationship between offline meetings and online tools. Please welcome Soumitra.
Hello, everyone. I'm Soumitra, founder of Workomo.
Workomo is relationships intelligence for power professionals. To illustrate what we are building, let me walk you through a day in the life of one of our early adopters, Pallav Nadhani. Now, Pallav is a new age hustling founder, a prolific angel investor, and a startup ecosystem connector. He meets diverse people on a weekly basis, but also has a lot of relationship management challenges. For instance, he goes into his office every day in the morning and looks at his to-do list on Trello, but the important follow-up that happened from the lunch meeting last week never got captured on it and fell through the cracks. Or before an important customer meeting, he's trying to locate notes from the previous 2 meetings with the same customer, but these notes are fragmented across Evernote, physical notebooks, maybe some even in his mind, which never got captured, and he's struggling to build context. All these are symptoms of a larger problem. While all our professional relationships exist in one set of silos, the context around these relationships exist in a different set of silos. This gap between relationships and their context manifests itself in multiple user pain points. It's extremely hard to take effective meeting notes and follow-ups in an on-the-go high-velocity meeting environment. Important follow-ups fall through the cracks. It's very difficult to stay on top of the key career events and highlights of the professional relationships that truly matter to us. And finally, for a particular professional need, it is impossible to run a contextual search on an actual active network and really figure out who to reach out to for that particular need. That's where Workomo comes in. Workomo is a mobile workflow that integrates deeply into your calendar and A, helps professionals capture critical meeting insights and follow-ups in an on-the-go environment, and B, combine them with the relevant relationships in these interactions to be able to equip them to contextually manage their professional network. From a market size perspective, our vision is to create a platform that caters to the top 20% most proactive professionals on LinkedIn. These are 100 million professionals spread across the world. From a competition perspective, we really don't see ourselves competing with the existing system of record products out there. Rather, Workomo wants to be the system of intelligence that sits on top of these products, extracts relationships, extracts the context around these relationships, and presents them in front of professionals as useful insights. Our business model is consumer SaaS. It's a freemium monthly subscription model. We are in the early stages of iterating on the product, so we'll keep iterating on the exact business model for our product. From a team perspective, before starting Workomo, I was the founding team member of Alibaba Group's global expansion team, working directly with Jack Ma and Josai on cross-market initiatives. I came into the group through an acquisition of a portfolio company, a startup where I was an early business leader, and before becoming an operator, I was a venture capital investor. In addition to me in the team, we have Swaraj and Sujit who are driving engineering, and Nidhi who's driving product. Swaraj is an AI and ML expert, a serial founder who has done 2 startups before Workomo. Sujit, before Workomo, was building products for Gojek, the Indonesian unicorn. And Nidhi, over a 9-year career, as again a serial founder, has built and scaled multiple consumer products. In terms of our pre-seed round, we are looking to raise a $2 million round right now with the goal of getting 15 to 18 months of runway and in CY20 to achieve problem solution fit, which is to have a cohort of users that are extremely excited about the product and also a core team that is ready for product market fit. Thank you.
The next startup, Nimbala, has a well-balanced team. 2 co-founders, entrepreneurs and operators, have 5 successful exits. The other 2 technical co-founders are co-creators of Apache's serverless cloud platform. They are building the next generation serverless cloud platform. Please welcome Ansu.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anshu Agarwal, founder and CEO of Nimbala, a serverless cloud startup that helps developers easily build stateful applications. If you are using Alexa, Roomba, Nest, Ring, any of these devices at home, you are using serverless applications. But as you can see, all these applications are stateless. The challenge with popular serverless frameworks today is that it doesn't manage state natively, so it becomes developer responsibility. Not only that, the developer has to integrate with debugging, tracing, monitoring, all these tools and services because it's not supported within the framework. And to top it all, these cloud frameworks are proprietary, so you are writing to a cloud-specific vendor API, which makes it impossible to move from one cloud vendor to another. So if the serverless promise was to code only once and to code only logic, are we really delivering to the serverless promise? So what happened is, if we solve for all these challenges, why does it really matter? The reason it matters is because it opens up new enterprise workloads and domains. What we have created at Nimbella is a serverless cloud platform that not only integrates with developer tools and deployment tools, it also manages states natively by deep platform integration. And because it's based on open source, it can be deployed on any cloud. It's a full stack solution, and even on your private cloud. So what we are actually doing here is we are commoditizing the underlying public cloud infrastructure while democratizing the developer experience, so the supercomputing of the cloud is available to all developers and not just a few. We are the only serverless solution that fills in both technical and operational gaps. There are lots of point product solutions that fill in debugging, tracing, monitoring, all of these gaps in AWS, AWS Lambda, Google Cloud Functions, and others. Our competitive differentiation is we do all that while riding the underlying public cloud infrastructure. The market is huge, and it's growing as the definition of serverless is changing. But what is really exciting to me is that serverless is #1 cloud initiative for enterprises 2 years in a row. We have a great founding team. We are a team of 4 founders. I have been a product and marketing executive in 4 startups, which were all acquired. The last acquirer was Citrix, and I see some of the familiar faces here. Thank you, Citrix. And my co-founder, Eric, he has founded 2 companies prior to Nimbella, both with successful exits. And Roderick and Perry, they were the creators of Apache OpenWhisk, which powers our platform, and it also powers IBM Cloud and Adobe I/O runtime. We got started in September of 2018. We raised our seed round of $4 million in December of 2018. In September of 2019, we released our platform for early access. And just this month, we released our first serverless solution, which is a complete development platform within Slack. And we'll be GAing both products this quarter. We also have filed for 4 patents. Our go-to-market strategy is developer first. And we generate our developer lead funnel through integration with developer-centric products such as Slack and Postman and others. We have a very strong partnership with Adobe, furthering the development of Apache OpenWhisk. We are currently being used by several developers in several companies, and also the developers that sign up through our website. And we have a freemium business model. We will be raising Series A in second half of 2020 after we have reached a desired level of developer adoption, and also release 2 more serverless solution integrations. Well, as I said before, we are commoditizing the cloud and democratizing the developer experience. So if you identify with such a developer, give our platform a try. Thank you.
For her, there was an echo.
The next startup is Ambi. One of the big pain points of hiring managers across various verticals is to hire top quality candidates. Typically, hiring managers want to interview 3 candidates and give offer to 1. Ambi HR Assistant is trying to address this hiring managers problem. Please welcome Abhi.
Hi everyone, my name is Abhi Verma. I'm the founder of Ambi AI. Ambi is an AI-powered platform for hiring high-skilled contract workers. Every year, companies spend a total of $150 billion on contract staffing through staffing agencies. Yet, most companies find it to be slow, expensive, and not very effective. Why? Because staffing agencies with their traditional brick and mortar model charge a very high brokerage and still deliver poor quality contractor profiles from their vetted pool. AMV's fully automated AI-powered contract staffing solution cuts down the staffing cost by half and reduces the turnaround time to staff projects by 80%. How big is the opportunity for us? The serviceable obtainable market for AMV with our initial focus on technology and professional services segment is $3 billion. Of this, $1 billion is a new low-hanging opportunity that just got created in California for staffing solutions like AMV with the passage of AB5 law. So how do we manage to make contract staffing look so magical? Below a simple user interface is a mesh of 5 interconnected technologies. 1, a sourcing technology that turns the internet into a recruiting platform, sourcing contractor profiles. 2, a ranking technology that uses NLP to rank those profiles on the basis of their hard skills. 3, an AI model that predicts contractors' availability 3 weeks in advance, solving for the first time a critical problem in contract staffing, demand-supply mismatch. 4, a personalized chatbot that engages with top-ranked contractors, encourages them to apply, and also engages with staff contractors. And 5, an AI model that predicts the contractor's soft skills on the basis of their video interview recording. All these technologies are delivered through a single platform, along with our instant employer of record service. And all those features put together make us very differentiated. AMV is the best and fastest contract staffing solution and the only fully automated contract staffing solution in the high-skilled segment. We charge a flat $299 per contractor per week pricing, as opposed to percentage-based brokerage charged by staffing agencies. And the way we go to the market is by selling to technology companies in California, which are actively hiring contractors and are likely to be affected by AB5. To build a recruiting product so intelligent and so autonomous, you need a team which not only has deep expertise in AI, but a great understanding of the recruitment space and industrial psychology. Here is that team. We are a team of serial entrepreneurs from the recruitment industry, an award-winning data scientist, a world-renowned marketplace strategy expert, and one of the world's top 100 psychologists. We already have a paid pilot. We already have a paid customer and are running pilots with several others. A couple of startup hiring managers are using our product, which is fully automated, to do full-time hiring, though our initial focus is on contract staffing segment. Our goal is to reach $100,000 in monthly recurring revenue by the end of this year. We're raising $2 million in seed round. You can find us at a booth table there. Let's talk if you're interested. Thank you very much.
So our next startup is Reflective AI. Vinit's family business is managing construction projects. He also has deep expertise in visual AI. In Reflective AI, he is using visual recognition technology in construction project to increase worker safety and mission efficiency. Please welcome Vinit.
Hi everyone, how's everyone doing this afternoon? I'm Vinit, founder and CEO of Reflective AI. At Reflective AI, we are building computer vision-based solutions to measure complex and unstructured operations on a construction site. This data enables stakeholders to reduce project costs and delays using concrete metrics rather than rely on incomplete data and guesswork. To measure is fundamental to managing any system, we all know that. Without measurement, you cannot really improve a system. However, did you know that over 70%, an overwhelming 70% of the tasks on a construction job site are unstructured and really hard to measure? And this is a pain I've felt in our own family business, where a project goes over budget, it gets delayed, and the contractor is never able to give the right answer or anticipate these issues. Now let's meet Ryan, who is a project manager with a general contractor. Ryan handles multiple $40 million projects at the same time. Ryan's challenge is lack of visibility into manpower, machinery, equipment. Without the right data, Ryan finds it hard to do timely decisions, and that leads to delays. And delays are expensive on the job site. Exactly how much? On average, $40,000 per day. How do we help Ryan? We empower him with concrete metrics that enable him to track progress in real time and also reduce delays. So this big of a problem is a huge opportunity for us as a startup and for you as investors. It's $10 billion for general contractors in US alone. Let's zoom in on how we solve the problem for Ryan in a little bit more detail. So we use video camera feeds from crane cameras or ingress points or on poles. And we take this in, we apply image recognition, identify people, equipment, material. But wait, that's only half the story. What really differentiates us is the action recognition. We identify their interactions, capture these on a site map in terms of metrics for Ryan to consume and take quick action. We're excited about the pilot, $40,000 pilot we're running with a global construction company. And the problem with IoT-based solutions is that they have cognitive capacity limitations. For example, it can't distinguish a truck carrying soil versus aggregate. And there are integration challenges. So what we do, to give an example, on a site you have multiple excavators, and too many of them are creating piles, and not enough of them are loading dump trucks. That's a bottleneck. So the project manager gets notified through our solution, and he can relay to the operator so that there is more balance between different excavators. Or some excavators are idle, and the dump trucks are showing full utilization. Again, balance it by adding more dump trucks. So these are the kind of actions which lead to a 15% reduction in equipment and labor costs. And given the low profit margins of 5%, that leads to a significant boost for the bottom line for the general contractor. And that's just one of the pilots in just the last 4 months. We're working on multiple pilots. We have several customers in the pipeline. And we're seeing a lot of pull. People are coming to us and asking us if we can apply the technology for their benefit. So really exciting. And the team gives us an unfair advantage. I have been in the trenches. I was founding member of a unicorn startup. I also founded a computer vision startup. We have Pramod, who is a construction expert. Ayush is our deep learning guru. Professor Jason Corso is a renowned computer vision expert. He's also advising us. Now is the time. We have validated the problem with over 100 customer conversations. Executives are really interested in solving this pain point. And given the reducing cost of cameras, especially even 360-degree cameras, have become so cheap that, in fact, I have some of them at my booth when we meet later. So we are in the right position to use these feeds and apply action recognition to understand operational insights, which image recognition cannot really do. And so in short, we are building a category-defining product. And based on the fact that we have a strong team, traction, and we're solving a pain point in an underserved segment. Construction is seen as kind of boring, not enough smart people go in there, and so there's a lot of problems to solve, and we're really excited. So we're raising our seed round, and we invite you to be a part of our growth. I look forward to speaking at the booth. Thank you.
So our last startup is Electrify. Amazon is buying 100,000 electric trucks. For fleet operators, the challenge is shifting from vehicles to how they can be charged and operated. Let's find out how Electrify is solving these challenges of fleet operators of energy management. Please welcome Mufi.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mufi Gariali, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Electrify. At Electrify, we are building software solutions that help the large-scale electrification of vehicle fleets. The transition to electric vehicles is now imminent. The technology cost curves are coming down, batteries are becoming affordable. the environmental benefits are clear, and the operational ROI is here. Now, the focus is shifting to how are all of these vehicles going to be energized and fueled. Think about a fleet manager today that's dealing with diesel. Suddenly, this fleet manager has to deal with electricity as energy, and everything changes. Now, I have to worry about what time I charge, how fast I charge, how much I charge, and this operational complexity is only getting worse. There's a whole host of variables that are in play right now. So how does the environment impact charging? How does chemical aging of the battery impact charging? Routes, schedules, all of these variables make the process of charging incredibly complex. And if it's not managed, the cost of electricity can be 2 or 3 times the cost of diesel. But we have something going for us. All of these entities are generating a lot of data: vehicles, infrastructure, utility rates, and all of this data can be used to our advantage. And that's the product that we offer to our customers. So we built a sophisticated algorithm and system that looks at all of the parameters of a fleet and how it operates. When do the vehicles come in? When do they leave? How much dwell time do they have? How much energy needs to go in the vehicle? How does the driver impact behavior, impact charging? And we take all of that data and we solve 2 problems for our customers. The first one is that we make sure that every vehicle is charged and ready before it pulls out. And 2, we make sure that we can save them money on energy and operations cost. Our business model is fairly intuitive and simple. We charge a per vehicle monthly fee to our customers. And we've demonstrated that we can save up to 70% in energy cost alone using software managed charging. But more importantly, we can help them charge more vehicles with the same infrastructure. So we can help you charge 3 or 4 times more vehicles without incurring additional costs by managing peak load. And we've got great customer traction so far. We are deploying across many different segments: transit fleets, school bus fleets, private fleets, and scaling across different types of vehicles as well, from light, medium to heavy duty. And I'm thrilled to announce that we are now in deployment with the largest electric school bus fleet in the entire nation. And this is just the beginning. The market opportunity just in the US alone is 16 million fleet vehicles, public, private, light, medium, heavy duty. And if you translate that into electrification at about 30%, that's a $6 billion SaaS opportunity just related to fleet and energy management. And we've got a great team that's backing us. I come from ChargePoint prior to Electrify, and then before that I was at Amazon, so I bring deep expertise in EV charging and infrastructure. My co-founder, Sanjay Dayal, brings more than 3 decades of enterprise software experience. He also leads our ML and AI team. And we've been incredibly blessed to have a set of investors and advisors spanning energy, mobility, and transportation, and ML AI. We closed our seed round of funding last December, and thrilled to announce that that round was oversubscribed. We are ready to scale the company. But there is something much bigger that's happening here beyond fleet and energy management. We are on the cusp of the biggest energy transition in history: the shift from oil to electrons. And the entire value chain is being disrupted. Real estate, energy, vehicles, infrastructure, everything is going to be disrupted. And the thread that ties all of this together is data and intelligence. And that is the platform that we are building at Electrify. We are now ready to scale the company, and we are looking for strategic partnerships, specifically in the energy and utility space, infrastructure providers that build charging infrastructure, vehicle OEMs, and most importantly, customers who can take us into public and private fleets. We are ready to scale the company, and we'd love you if you can join us in our journey to electrify transportation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, for the last 4 cohorts, we graduated around 49 startups. So one of our startups in cohort 1, Nanosec, was acquired by McAfee 3 months ago. So we are starting our cohort 5 soon. So IITStartups is a nonprofit organization. Only one criteria is one of the co-founders must be an IITian. And then if some of the co-founders are non-IITian, you can reach out to us. We will try to introduce you to one of the IIT, and so that you can be part of that IIT Startups program. Please visit this tiny URL or our IIT Startups website if you are interested in enrolling for that Cohort 5 program. Thank you again for attending this demo day.